yeah, the coup. So, oh yeah. So that case is called Moore v. Harper. That involves what's called independent state legislature theory. That's the theory that it is the state legislature that ultimately gets to decide all of the rules about the election, not, for instance, the state Supreme Court or the state board of elections or the governor. Nobody else, just the state legislature. Why? Well, if you remember, the legal part of the coup, there was the coup that was like the legal coup, and then there was the random white people attacking the Capitol coup, right?
Right.
Two different coups, right? So the legal part of the coup was what? It was the fake elector theory. It was the theory that Arizona, Pennsylvania, other states with their Republican-controlled legislatures could send in a slate of fake electors and have those electors counted as opposed to the ones that were actually voted on by the people. This is the kind of case that allows them to do that if it goes their way. Now, of the cases that we've talked about, that case is the only one where I have any hope.
Really? Okay.
Because independent state legislature theory is so wackadoodle out there. It was literally first recognized or argued for in Bush v. Gore.
Of course.
And it was when Rehnquist was casting it about. Because remember, if you remember the issue of Bush v. Gore, and again, dating myself, John Lovitz and Bush v. Gore, I'm about to die.
No, I'm with it.
The issue was that the Florida State Supreme Court had ordered a recount, right? The Republicans were trying to stop the recount. One of the ways that they were trying to stop it was them saying, hey, it's actually the Florida State Legislature, which was controlled by Republicans, who gets to order a recount, not the Florida State Supreme Court. Now, that is not how Bush won.
Yeah, where my brother's the damn governor. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
The Supreme Court did not rule for Bush for that reason. But the lawyer for the Bush team that made that argument was Brett Kavanaugh, who is now on the Supreme Court. So it's close.
Using the theory that the state legislature has the power to start to actually recount.
The state legislature could order a recount, not the state Supreme Court, was the theory then. Right. Now, fast forward 20 years, we're in a different situation. I don't know. I feel like this. I know that Roberts doesn't like this theory. Because if you think about John Roberts, for all of his ills, and liberals tend to think that John Roberts is the reasonable one. Nope. He's the least evil one, but he's not reasonable.
Right.
But if you think about his jurisprudence, John Roberts wants to give more power to judges. Independent state legislature takes power away from judges. So John Roberts is not on board. That's 4. And listening to oral arguments, I don't think that they sold Amy Coney Barrett. Of the crazy conservatives, Barrett's the one who hasn't written about this theory, hasn't represented somebody who was working on this theory, generally thinks that government should exist, unlike a Neil Gorsuch type. And just based on her questions, I don't know if they sold it to her. Now, granted, Barrett so far has an interesting approach where she asks really smart questions.
Okay.
And then rules in the most brain-dead fundamentalist Christian way, right? Like, whatever intelligence she has in the question-asking phase never shows up to her actual opinions. So it's easy to get fooled by Barrett.
Her programming just has like a little weird glitch in it, and then she sort of like, she reanimates during the vote.
Right.
I was going to interrupt when you were talking about her and be like, yeah, but that was what I was like, but she says a lot of stuff and then does the complete constantly.
She asks questions. She's
got nutball eyes too, where you're just like.
She asks questions like an independent thinking person, and then rules like a caged slave person to the Republican cause. That's in her story so far. But at least from these arguments, I don't know that they made the sale to her, and I don't know that they made the sale even to Brett Kavanaugh, who seemed surprisingly to me interested in distinguishing Bush v. Gore from the case that they heard a couple months ago. So again, it can still all go terribly, but it's of the cases that we've talked about so far, Francesca, this is the one where I don't think all hope is lost yet.
Right. And to me, and this is sort of my argument with people who see the Republican Party as all election denying crazies. I don't. I do. I do think the Republican Party is a Christian nationalist party. It is authoritarian leaning, if not forwarding, not leaning, it's fully authoritarian. But some of them believe that whoever wins the election should assume the office, and some of them do not. And so the question is, how does that shake down on the Supreme Court? And so I would be thrilled if it shook down in the favor of actual democracy, although of course arguable if our electoral college is a democracy or not. But that I think is really, really, really important. It's, to see the backlash. You see the Boeberts and the Gates and the nut jobs, and you're like, does Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, and Barrett want to be associated with that extremist wing, or are they extremists who want to still put on their cloak, put on their robe, and go forth in taking away gay rights?
The way that I
this is my opinion on that, and I will admit that it's cynical, but my thought on that is because of the way our government works currently, where corruption is legal, it doesn't matter what they say or what they do. It's going to matter to where that dark money is that supports them and tells them what to do, when to do.
Sure.
That's the scariest part of what's happening and with Citizens United to me, because it's like, it doesn't, if they're bought and paid for, it doesn't matter. It's someone else's plan, which is fucked up to say out loud.
The Republican Supreme Court is completely agenda driven. They're thinking about how best to make the world safe for their donors and for the larger Republican Party. The distinction that I've made, to go to Francesca's point, it's kind of like the distinction between a leopard and a hyena, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna die. It's gonna eat you, right? But they have very different ways of eating you, right? The leopard's gonna be all stealthy, kind of get you from behind, then take you up into the tree. That's like your kind of establishment Republican. I just want to eat all the meat by myself and not share it with anybody. Like, that's your standard Republican, right? Then you've got these other Republicans that are like the hyenas, and they're just like, and they're gonna swarm you. They're cackling, and they're kind of gonna eat you while you're still alive. It's gonna be kind of more scary. But at the end of the day, like, you're just meat to them, right? And so
don't talk about their cocaine orgies. They will come after you and get you then too.
Yeah, exactly. Unless, Madison Cawthorn eating face first, right? And just
he learned a lesson, did he not?
That's what the Madison Cawthorn is the cautionary tale for all of them Republicans, right? Because they will turn on you just as quick as they will turn on me, yo.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.